नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब तशु
Namaskar, namaskar.
स्वागत यथ वार्ताय मज यह गनीमत
Anmara.
तुम मार्गदर्शक तुम सोरे कह पे वत हाविक लेट मी बिगिन विथ गणपति श्लोका
Bas Ganpati Cha Adidev.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Dr. Saab, going through your book and some initial pages, what I learned that a galaxy of scholarly and so many enlightened people whom you have met and who have guided you or with whom you have discussed various facets of Shiva Shastra or Shiva Agamas or whatsoever. To name a few, I would like to name them Pandit Sridharji Wangnu, both
Yes, of course.
Zindlal Jalali, P.N. Pushp, Neelkant Gurtu, Swami Lakshmanju, T.N. Bhan, Jialal Kav, Lachkag ji, Somnath Zadu ji, and so many others. Because getting into the research aspect of the hidden treasure of our Shiva Siddhanta or Shiva traditions, I wish you to answer what is Trika and Vaibhavam in it. Please elaborate.
Naadbindu ji namaskar. Bhagwan Thand Sarne Varpachi. Srimant Swami Ramji Sun Rojan Kripa Sarne. Tun the Vaibhav Rojan Sarne Mor. Mujud Tim Urs Ch Asante. Trika is the way of life, understanding Shiva, Shakti, and Nara, or human being. It is also known as Pashu and Pasha and Bandhana. The basic concept lies in the very existence of Shiva as the primal source of all that exists. Shiva is not alone. It is, of course, reflected in the energy aspect that governs our life from the very conception in our mother's womb till we leave this body. We do every action. So Shaivistic life or the Trika way of life is yogic in spirit. Number one. Number two, it is a formative life for understanding the spirituality. Third, it says that there is no difference, no advaita, no difference at all. There should be no difference between aham and idam. Aham means I am, idam means this is. When we say that there is no difference, that means it speaks of our higher mental understanding of this universal consciousness. Shiva, or the triadic Shiva, Trika, as you said, can be safely translated as the triadic Shiva of Kashmir, understanding of the doctrine of recognition. To recognize ourselves with Shiva and to recognize all others as Shiva in manifestation, in Purusha and Prakriti, which evolves around and around the 36 tattvas. There is a series of 36 tattvas from Prithvi tattva up to the Shiva. Meanwhile, we have the Shakti tattva. and also the Sadashiv Tattva, including the Shuddha Vidya, and so on. As human beings, we do understand that we exist. For me, I do exist. For you, you do exist. For everybody says that I do exist. This existence, which can be translated as astitva, the asti word here refers that this is a reality. The samsara or the jagat or this world of ours is not maya at all. Maya is that we can measure. Ma means to measure. Ya means that one, that thing that we can measure, that it is finite. Anything which is finite can be measured. But Shiva consciousness or the consciousness of this whole universal phenomena, it cannot be measured. But it can be realized, it can be understood through various means and modes as have been taught by the great Rishi, the Shaivistic Rishi, the Mahamaheshwaracharya Swami Ramji Maharaj. We owe him much. It was he who gave us, regenerated, who taught and spread the message of this Trika. Therefore, Trika is a very sacred name. If we say Trika alone, we feel that we get inner strength in every molecule of our being, in every spark of our life, in our understanding, that is the Buddha Tattva, we do understand what Trika stands for. Even Laldedi has said also Trukaya Asak, means if you apply yourself in the Trika way of life, you will attain the highest. What is that highest? That highest is the Shiva Pada, Shiva Sayuja, to be one with Shiva. And not only to be one with Shiva, but to see others to be in Shiva. So there is no difference between man and man. Between this Prakriti, all are equal in the eyes of that Shiva.
Sir, you have almost covered the entire question that was to be followed. What is the significance of Trika and in our daily lives? That is what I mean, how it works in the various aspects of common man. Moving forward, sir, you had already authored the Ashtotar Shadnamavali of Mahamaheshwaracharya Swami Sri Ramji Maharaj, uh, which seems to be work similar to this Trik Vaibhawam, I should say. What inspired you to come up with this new edition that relates to our precious Trika treasure? Please throw some light on this.
Yes, first of all, I would say that this is the Trika Vaibhavam. For me, this is the Trika Vaibhavam.
Oh,
I always see to it. I get inspiration. This is what is in it. It's Swamiji and there's a mirror. And we can see Swamiji in this mirror. That means the mirror of our existence, the mirror of our understanding, the mirror of our Buddha Tattva, Buddha Kosha. And that is why I have put it here. When I write, I just meditate, I see to it, and I get inspiration. That is the reason why I write and how I write. Now I will show you. This is how I adore Swamiji.
so beautiful.
And all these bindis are
So
just, but
beautiful.
these are 36. I have,
Okay,
if
okay.
you counted, these are the 36. So Swami Ramji, Bhagwan Ramji, Shiva Ramji, Trikacharya Ji Maharaj spreads his aura through these 36 tattvas. So I have put these 36 bindis or bindus around his very existence. This is what Vaibhava stands for me. I understand Trikacharya. When I look at his image, when I look at his face, actually I do look at his feet because because it radiates so much that I cannot see to its eyes. Only I see at the feet, and I get some inspiration to write and write, to put words. That is all. That is Varnatmikaye Nama. And he is Sah Asti, Aham Asmi, and also Swamiji is Sa Asati. Sa Asati means that is Shiva. Sa Asati means that is Shivani. So Swamiji is both Shiva and Shivani. For whom? For those who try to understand Shiva through every atom of life, in our thought, in our mind, in our understanding, in our scriptures, in Varnamala, in Saptamatrikas, also in Chakreshara Sutati and in Malini. These are the words that reconstruct our spiritual thought from time to time, from moment to moment, from every existence that we feel around us.
So,
Some time ago, yes, do
yes, yes.
please continue.
Please, you continue, please. I will come later on.
Actually, it was the year 1985. I had the good opportunity, while what in the language of Sri Aurobindo, he says Bhagavat Muhurta, or the divine hour, when I happened to be at the feet of Swamiji's at Fatehkadal. I name it as Vijaya Setu. Why Vijaya Setu? Vijaya means when I go there, I am not only getting the peace, but I feel peace around. That means I am not afraid of anything, because everything is within the whole aura of that Swamiji. He stands for and he blesses. There was a saint, a Grahasti saint, but not married. His name was Swami Shatraju. He was a child disciple, had the good fortune of seeing Swamiji Maharaj, child child disciple, and he would go and Swamiji would tell him to do a little work, and thus he learned the fundamentals of Kashmir Shaivism in practice. One is to know Shaivism, Yatrika philosophy, through books. The other is how to apply it in our day-to-day life. Actually, Shaivism stands for day-to-day life. I will tell you how. When we go and see our mothers cooking, in Kashmiri we call is chok, and in chok or rasoigar or in kitchen, we do have these stairs where there are 3 stairs and 3 holes, and there you see 3 tops. There's 3 tops on the dan. Kashmiri word is dan or chok, or kitchen, and or in today's language it is stove, and we see these 3 tops there represent Shiva, Shakti, and Anand. So we evolved that Shaivism in our kitchen. Also, you will see that our mothers, I have seen my mother doing it, and there were 2 Sanyavaris. One was related to Purusha, the other was Prakriti. Again, the 2 tattvas. Then also there is Bhumi tattva or the Prithvi tattva, Jal tattva, Akash tattva, Agni tattva. All these tattvas are there in our kitchen. And what we offer, my mother would do, what she would decide, Om Shitrak Agniye Swaha. And its source, if we find, it takes us back to Yajurveda, and it is known as Trikagni. The word Trikagni is there, and that Trikagni has descended through Shaivism, while studying the Shaivistic thoughts, Malini and other books, even there is Vatul Nath Sutra and other books, Shiv Sutras are there also, so many books and Swachanda Bhairava Tantra, and we see that Shiva and Shakti are knit together. And our mothers, when they would cook or make roti or anything, they would teach us that the one part and the other part, when we put it together, it becomes the whole consciousness of Shiva Chaitanya. This is Shiva Chaitanya. It is circular. Always it is circular. It moves and then reverberates through the circle of integration. So we will learn its part when we say Tripur Makan. Why Tripur? It is related to Tripura. The first Pura or Por is Adikut, second Por is Madhyakuta, and the third is Shaktikuta in Tripur Makan, that is the Kashmir's architecture. It has also influenced the art. It has influenced our dress. Also, it did influence jewelry and our puja kaksha, or in Kashmiri we call it puja kamriya, puja kut, where we would put all these devatas in such a manner that they represent each tattva. So if you see and you manage to know it, you will see how it is related to our life. See, for example, our Farron. The Farron we have posts. That post is white, but we can have Farron, or the post is inner and the outer is Farron, as it is called. It is of color. That's Sattva and Rajas. Even Nor and Kumbh of our Farron, that's white. Similarly, our Taranga, that is the Kundalini, and also Pooch, Zuj, etc. And even the Dijhor, that is but the section of the Chakreshwara. All these things we have put it in our daily life. That is our Trika way of life. When we put Hunimut, when we say, we actually make it a linga, and that is the Sadashiva concept. Not the Shiva, but only the Sadashiva concept there, because at that time we can have the form. We realize there should be some form, and when we go higher, then that vanishes, that imagination vanishes. It actually does not vanishes, but in our mind we see that we have to go beyond, higher and higher. The higher we go, we understand. Sri Aurobindo calls it super consciousness, the super moments of life, when we do realize this.
बहुत ही सुंदर, so beautifully put. I should say, जब ज्ञान अमृत प्रवाह की तरह हिंडोले मारकर प्रस्फुटित होता है, आपकी अभिव्यक्ति ठीक उसी प्रकार की है. Such a wonderful aspect you have just expressed about the Trika Vaibhavam and its aspects which relate to our, in fact, our kitchen, how our mothers used to go for daily course and say such mantras which even today nobody knows what they used to say, but it was intact. Very true, very true. uh, Coming to our social aspect, our daily routine in Kashmir, back to Kashmir, what we used to do in on the banks of Vitasta. Herat is just nearing now. We are moving ahead towards holy days, which we are going to celebrate. Please elaborate on another aspect on Swarzun Day. First of all, what is Swarzun?
बहुत प्रश्न, ऐसा प्रश्न जो बार बार एक जिज्ञासु के मन में आता है, जो शैव दर्शन से परिचित हो, उसी के मन में ऐसे विचार आते हैं. पहले मैं ये स्वर्जुन शब्द को की थोड़ी सी विवेचना करना चाहता हूँ। इट इज विसर्जन। जब हमने शिवरात्रि की जो पूजा होती है उसको कहते हैं पद्धति। देयर इज अ स्पेसिफिक वर्ड फॉर दैट पूजा, इट इज नोन एज पद्धति। ये जो पद्धति है इट इज ऑल शैविस्टिक, और ये शैविस्टिक को हम जिसे कश्मीरी में कहते हैं वागिर बह। वागुर means the verb. In today's language, we can safely say that is verb. और verb में हम उसको invoke करते हैं कि आप हमारी इष्ट है, आप ही पर रहिए। ये हम आपको नैवेद्य प्रेजेंट करते हैं आपके लिए। वी कीप इट एज our as our offerings to you, because you are not different. You belong to us, we belong to you. There is a close relationship, so we will not allow you to go anywhere for these 5 days. ये तो पहला कॉन्सेप्ट है। Why this is known as the पंचरात्रि पूजा, पंचरात्रि पूजा पद्धति। और उसमें जब हमने वागुर को स्थापित कर लिया, उसके बाद हम उसको निवेदन करते हैं आप तब तक ही रहिए जब तक ये हमारा संपन्न हो जाए, क्योंकि आप तो हमसे भिन्न नहीं हैं। तो कृपया यहाँ पर तो कृपा कीजिए, इस कमरे से बाहर मत जाइए, प्लीज प्लीज डोंट गो। दिस इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन नर एंड शिव। तो उसके बाद त्रयोदशी, और त्रयोदशी जो होती है उसको प्रदोष पूजा, प्रदोष, एंड इट इज इक्वल इन इंग्लिश इज पॉल्यूशन। उस समय जो प्रदोष की वेला होती है वो दैट इज फुल ऑफ पॉल्यूशन इन द कॉस्मिक एनवायरनमेंट। तो उसको शांत करने के लिए हम भगवान शिव की आराधना करते हैं, और उसमें कालरात्रि, तालरात्रि, शिवरात्रि इत्यादि जो नाम आते हैं। और कुल और अकुल दो वर्ड है वहां पर। कुल और अकुल मीन्स यू आर नॉट अलोन, you are Shiva and Shakti with Ramgod. That is the Bhairava status. Because it is born as Bhairava. It is the Bhairava means just born there. And then he protects it. उसी के लिए हम उसको शिवरात्रि का भैरव याग भी कहते हैं, और उसी से हम याचना करते हैं। और ये जब पूजा समापन होती है उसमें आप देख लीजिए कि ये शैविस्टिक है इन नेचर, बट विद वैदिक इन्फ्लुएंस एज वेल, जो कि हम वहां पर अग्नि भी जलाते हैं, और अग्नि में हम वैदिक देवता को ही निमंत्रण करते हैं। उसमें हम शिवरात्रि के देवता को करते ही हैं, मगर मोर एम्फेसिस इज ऑल्सो ऑन द वैदिक देवतास। एंड वी आर ग्रेटफुल टू ऋषि लोगाक्ष। उन्होंने हम पर कितना उपकार किया है कि उन्होंने वेद को और उन्होंने आगम शास्त्र को किस तरह से कंबाइन किया। He was a great ऋषि par excellence। और उन्होंने किस तरह से ये नैवेद्य मंत्र जो है वो बना दिया। If we see to that, it is also immortality। इमोर्टलिटी में जाते हैं जिसमें ज्योतिष भी है, जिसमें एनवायरनमेंट भी है, इकोलॉजी भी है। इसका भी मैंने अंग्रेजी में ट्रांसलेशन किया था, और वो संजीवनी शारदा वालों ने जो मुझसे वो प्रकाशित भी हुआ है कि इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है। हम उसी नैवेद्य मंत्र से फिर जो हमारे पास रामगुढ़ होता है या ऋषडुली होती है, वटुकराज ओम ह्रीम शिम देवी पुत्र वटुकनाथाय नमः, ये लिखते हैं। और उसके बाद फिर हम शिव चतुर्दशी के दिन और फिर से पूजा करते हैं, और अंतिम दिन हम इसमें फिर विसर्जन करते हैं। तो वहां पर जो हमारे जब आप इसको नदी के तट पर जाते हैं तो आपका प्रश्न है कि हम जल को क्यों काट देते हैं, यही है ना आपका प्रश्न?
जी जी जी,
ये जो प्रश्न है ये तो आपका है, क्योंकि जल जो है, जो कि हमारे पास जो भी अब आने वाली हो सकता है, कोई जो है लाकिनी, साकिनी, डाकिनी, हाकिनी, चक्र, वाकिनी, जितनी भी कुछ अविद्याएं होती है आकाश में फिरते, वो कहीं हमें अटैक न कर ले, क्योंकि हमारे पास तो अब कुछ है ही नहीं ना, क्योंकि हमने तो विसर्जन कर दिया। हमारे पास जो प्रोटेक्शन था वो जल रूपी जो अग्नि था वो हमने तो वो वितस्ता में स्थापित कर दिया, और फिर हम आते हैं और हम उसी से जो हमारी ये चारों ओर जो फैली हुई होती है, क्योंकि प्रदोष समय हुआ था और वो आकाश में फिरते ही हैं त्रयोदशी चतुर्दशी और अमावस के दिन, तो वो जब वो वैंडरिंग करते हैं ऊपर से वो फैलते हैं तो कहीं हम पर अटैक न कर ले, इसलिए हम उसको चाकू से काटते हैं। दैट इज ऑल तांत्रिक कॉन्सेप्ट। क्या है? अन्न है, धन है, तो रोजी है, तो रोजगार है, वैभव है। इसीलिए मैंने इस पुस्तक का नाम त्रिक वैभव भी रखा है। केवल अंत में ये एक उनके प्रति विनम्र भाव से ये शब्द कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ।
जरूर
ओम
कहिए।
शारदा पुत्राय नमः, त्रिकाचार्याय नमः, अष्टोत्तर शतनाम विशारद शेखराय नमः, श्रीमंताय स्वामिन राम रामाय नमो नमः, ओम बिंदुनाद कलातीत कादि विद्या विशारद त्रिकाचार्याय नमः। ओम
बहुत
शम
बहुत
शांति।
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक्स अ लॉट डॉक्टर साहब। आपने जो आज हमें एनलाइटन किया है, आपने जो ये प्रकाश डाला है, आशा है सब जो भी सुनने वाले हैं, जो भी देखेंगे, वो भी जान जाएंगे कि हमारा दैनिक जीवन में डेली जो रूटीन, हमारा एक कश्मीर का जो परिवेश है, विशेषकर कश्मीरी पंडितों का जो परिवेश है, जो प्राचीन परंपरा से जुड़ा है, जो शैव आगमों से होता हुआ हमारे किचन तक, हमारे जो बूर कहते थे, जिसका आपने बहुत ही खूबसूरती के साथ बयान किया कि तीन चीज़ें वो उभरी हुई जो होती हैं, उसको आपने त्रिका के साथ कैसे जोड़ा। तो मुझे आशा है कि लोग जो भी सुनेंगे उन्हें बहुत ही अच्छा लगेगा, और आगे चल कर के इस पे और भी ज़्यादा जानकारियाँ लेने के लिए हम फिर से प्रस्तुत होंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। नमस्कार।